Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, rolling out hour number 2. Sharp and Shapiro, glad you could join us. Of course, we're talking about explosive interview, Hunter Biden with ABC. Your thoughts on that interview? What's the difference between what Hunter Biden did and what the Trump kids are doing and what Ivanka is doing? That's the only point that I'm trying to make. This has been going on in politics for years and years before I was even born. We're going to get to LeBron James and the comments that he made. I know JD has an opinion on that when it comes to what LeBron said in regards to China and Daryl Morey with the Houston Rockets. But we'll take a few more of your phone calls, as we promised we would, at 257-5396. Why don't we start off with Steven this segment. Steven, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
What's up, Steven?
Did we lose Steven? Go ahead, Steven.
With this issue with the government, I don't think it's going to make a difference because his dad is, I think, getting to the point of incompetent with his, I don't know, his memory, his age. A lot of factors are working against him. And may I say this, a friend of mine is going to open a restaurant in Vegas specifically for Joe Biden, and it's going to be for people with bad memories. The soup of the day never changes. I think that's what he needs.
Well, Stephen, I appreciate those words.
Is he going to call it 51st dates?
You're not on your own. When there are a lot of people that do not feel like Joe Biden is fit to be president, and I've said on the record many a times on this show that Joe Biden would not have my support for president of the United States. 257-5396. Let's go to Dennis. Dennis, you're next. What's up?
Hi, Brian. The way you talk to that lady, calling her a dummy and everything.
Okay, the fact
is going to be the biggest story.
Okay, so let me explain.
They're trying to get out in front of this FISA abuse and everything that's going to come out. That's why they're doing this impeachment.
Okay,
and
so let me respond, Dennis. Dennis, let me respond to what you just said. The fact that she is a lady has absolutely nothing to do with the fact why I called her a dummy. Let me explain why. When somebody calls up and they have an opinion, I'm welcome to hear your opinion. But when somebody calls up and they say, for example, what she said is that this Donald Trump story about the inquiry is by far not the biggest news story in the last month. I said, okay, that's fine. Tell me what you think is a bigger story. She couldn't name me a bigger story. That is what we call, in going back to middle school, when you have a theory, you have to have things to back up that theory, okay? You have to have, when you have an opinion, you have to have facts or at least make an argument. She was unable to do that. So that is not a very intelligent way of calling into a radio show and having an opinion. That's like me saying, oh, my God, Donald Trump is the worst president of all time. And then if you ask me, well, why do you feel that way, Brian? Well, I don't know. I'm not a political reporter. I just think Donald Trump is the worst president of all time. Would you call me a smart person?
I call you an idiot.
Exactly. Well, there you go, Dennis. You just made my point for me, okay? I didn't
I didn't make no point for you.
Yeah, you didn't. By the way, it's not you didn't make no point. It's you didn't make any point. Why don't you learn third grade grammar? Why don't you learn how to talk and go back to high school? I didn't make no point. Why don't you learn how to talk? Holy smokes. God, the average IQ level of some of these people. 257-5396 is the number to call. 702-257-5396. Let's go to Chuck. Chuck, what's going on?
What's up, Chuck?
You got a couple of points. One on Beau Biden, not
okay.
The brother.
Yes, I got you.
Died of a tumor.
Yes, I got you.
Well, you're talking about morale. You get on Trump for the Stormy Daniels thing, yet you've had porn stars on your show.
Yes, I have.
Banging the sister or the widow.
Whoa. So you're trying to make a correlation with a radio host having porn stars on the show with somebody having sex with a porn with somebody having
Hunter. Hunter's.
Why are you?
We're actually going to have 2 more porn stars on in the next couple of weeks.
You have a problem?
So I'm excited about that.
You have a problem with us having porn stars on the show?
No, I'm just talking about Hunter. He was banging Beau's the widower. For a couple of years.
Okay, and your point?
What he's saying was Hunter Biden was banging Beau, was having sex with, not banging, having sex with his dead brother's wife.
Was Hunter Biden running for president of the United States? Did Hunter Biden break campaign finance law?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I do. I know the answer to that. I'm surprised you don't. The answer is no. He didn't break campaign finance law, and he wasn't running in politics. He wasn't running for the president of the United States. He also didn't make a $120,000 payment to a woman to keep her quiet. He also didn't cheat on a woman when he was married and his wife just had a child. I do know, Chuck.
and the biggest story is Trump hasn't started any wars.
You don't want to respond to anything of what I just said. You just want to move on.
I'm learning, man.
I mean, Chuck, you seem like I like you, Chuck. You seem like a good guy. Okay. I just get frustrated with people sometimes when they try to correlate somebody like Hunter Biden's actions to Donald Trump's actions.
Dirt or whatever they call it, lottery or whatever.
Yes. All right, go ahead, Chuck.
And there's some gal in Arkansas filing a paternity suit against him too. I don't know.
Well, I don't know about that, Chuck. Listen,
how come CNN doesn't cover that stuff?
Well, because Hunter Biden's not the president of the United States. That's why.
He's getting a lot of ink right now.
Well, he is because of, and you know what? It's mostly Fox News that wants to deflect from the actual impeachment inquiry and what's actually in that transcript. They want to talk about the Bidens. I mean,
Fox News is doing the same thing that CNN is doing. They're trying to lower Joe Biden's credibility. That's all they're trying to do. Just like CNN's trying to do the exact same thing with the Trump impeachment, because we all know this impeachment is not going to go anywhere. It's going to. It's likely going to take place.
That's your opinion.
But he is not going to be removed from office, Brian.
That's your opinion.
That is
I disagree.
Pipe dream if you believe that.
Go ahead, Chuck. You had something else to say. Go ahead.
I don't know. Some Raytheon gave $70,000 to one of these debates. I was listening to Jimmy Dore last night, but I can't remember which one. If you guys know, one of your callers.
No, I'm sorry, Chuck. I don't know. But hey, listen, man, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you calling in. Just you can't compare Hunter Biden and his sexcapades to Donald Trump. They just don't compare. By the way, Donald Trump was running for president of the United States when he sent that hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. How did that work out for Michael Cohen? 257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Brian. Brian, what's going on?
Well, I want to take issue the previous caller before the last one. When you call people names, like Samantha this morning. I thought her call was excellent, number one.
Oh, of course you did.
And when you get backed into a corner, you play this little radio game.
I didn't get backed into a corner. Make no mistake about it. Excuse me.
A lot of good points.
Excuse me. The one point.
Well.
Excuse me.
Let me give you a quote.
No, you're wrong.
And then you can interrupt me.
Okay, well, you're wrong. You're wrong. She made one point.
Can I say something?
No, wait a second.
You can interrupt me?
No, I'll let you.
This is what you do,
I will
Brian.
let you. I will let you say something, but I want to comment on what you just said first.
Okay.
Her whole reason for calling in was saying that this Ukrainian, impeachment inquiry was not the biggest story of the last month. That's her main reason why she called in. And then I said, okay, we'll go with that. Hold on, let me finish.
Her reason is she was saying the Ukrainian impeachment story was manufactured and turned into the biggest story by CNN, which I had stated earlier.
She said it wasn't the biggest. Hold on.
So
she
you
said
misrepresented
she said
what she was saying.
She said I asked her to give me one story that's bigger in the last month, and she couldn't do it because she said she wasn't a reporter. That is idiotic.
Okay, here's my quote. It's from Socrates. It says, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. When you have to resort to calling the people who call your show names, you are the loser.
Would you say that about Donald Trump? Would you call Donald Trump a loser?
And you don't know what you're talking
Answer the question. Would you call Donald Trump a loser? Do you think he does that?
He's a very crazy guy. And
but he's not a loser? You wouldn't.
JD's told you this too. I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump says or does.
Is Donald Trump a loser? Is Donald Trump a loser? Answer the question. You just quoted Socrates. Answer the question. Is Donald Trump a loser?
No, he's not, but you are.
So Donald Trump doesn't insult people in a debate, but I do. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, Brian.
Anyways,
Goodbye, Brian.
Let's talk about Hunter Biden.
No, I'm done with Brian. 257.
Okay, well, Hunter Biden was actually taken out of the military, the Navy Reserve in 2014 for testing positive for cocaine. And then he described a situation in 2016 where he actually had a gun put to his head while he was trying to buy crack. He also has 2 kids out of wedlock, one of which is in Arkansas. This all came out in an article in early April of 2019, Brian. So, yes, it's all confirmed.
I'm going to quote Donald Trump, though. I'm going to quote a Donald Trump in regards to our last caller, Brian. Brian, you're a loser. That's a quote from Donald Trump. He calls people losers. You're a loser.
I would argue that Brian is one of our best callers and has been since this show
I'm just
started.
quoting Donald Trump. I'm not calling him a loser. He likes to quote Socrates. I'm quoting Donald Trump, my Socrates. You're a loser.
Is Donald Trump a legendary philosopher? Last time I checked, he isn't.
Oh, I think he is.
Okay.
Donald Trump is certainly a legendary philosopher. I agree. He's a legendary philosopher. You're right. Oh, no, you're saying he's not.
I am saying that Socrates' quotes have much more value than Donald Trump's do. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. That's debatable among many Republicans, JD. I don't know. 257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Eric. Eric, what's going on?
What's up, Eric?
Hi, how's it going, you guys?
Going great.
So I wanted to try to directly answer the difference between what I think the Biden and the Trump soft corruption is. Because like you were saying, 10 minutes ago, there's not illegality there per se. Like, I mean, it does not violate a law. I think the difference is that it's both a different type of soft corruption, right? With the Bidens, I think the issue is Biden was an established politician, and his son seems to have gotten the windfall from that.
Right.
The difference with the Trumps is that they had an established business.
They had a brand.
Pre-politics.
Yep.
So, yes, having a bigger exposure did gain them more money.
Well, it'd be like us having
corruption to it. I can agree.
Well, if that's the case,
that's the difference.
Then capitalism is soft corruption. For example, if this show was in 50 states, we would make a lot more money just due to exposure. It's the exact same concept. But the point is, the Trump family, the Trump kids have made money off their Trump family brand for as long as they've been alive. Hunter Biden only received the opportunity to go to the Ukraine and get paid $70,000 a year to do whatever because his dad is Joe Biden. So that's the difference.
Okay, so let me just interject here because I haven't had a chance to say one word since you called in. So let me just say this, and it's very simple to me. Okay? Both are not against the law. What Hunter Biden did is not against the law. What the Trump kids have done is not against the law. That's what we need to remember here. What Donald Trump did in this transcript could be conceived as a crime, and that is why it is being investigated. But make no mistake about it. If you want to put laws on the books that do not allow people like Hunter Biden to do what he did and to not allow what, the Trump family's doing, I don't have a problem with that. But again, I'll say it one more time. What Hunter Biden did and what the Trump kids are doing and currently doing, they're both not breaking the law. So I don't have a problem with either one of them.
But I would say
I agree. I agree 100%. I'm saying what I'm saying is what your specific question was, what's the difference earlier? And in order to answer that, my answer would be that one had an established brand entering politics. The difference why I named soft corruption is because the politics is what adds in the feel of there being corruption.
Mm-hmm. Eric,
so
listen.
That would be my answer directly to your question.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, Eric, and I appreciate that call. But I think, and I know you agree with this. What we all need to remember, and Eric, I think you already know this, is that nobody has broken the law. The Trump kids are not breaking the law. Okay, Hunter Biden didn't break the law. Guess who might have broken the law? Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump. That's what we need to focus on. 257-5396, 702-257-5396. Let's go to a man who does a show here on the weekend who decided to call in. I actually do listen to his show from time to time. That would be Doug Basham. Doug, thank you for calling in.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, Brian, it's JD. How you doing?
Doing great.
Doing good.
The thing I'd like to make the point, and I did this on my show, it doesn't matter if Hunter Biden single-handedly killed half the population of Ukraine.
There you go.
It doesn't
I agree.
change what Donald Trump did. He asked a foreign country to interfere in our election to help him win. Everything about Hunter Biden is just noise to distract from Donald Trump's crimes.
You are 100% correct. And in fact, we had Michael Avenatti on the show yesterday who made that exact same point. Listen, Hunter Biden could have molested kids for all we know, and it still, God forbid, and it still wouldn't change the fact that Donald Trump did something that was very wrong and could be illegal. And that's why there is an impeachment inquiry. Why is it so hard, Doug, for people on the right to understand that?
Because they're filled with 200-plus hours of right-wing talk radio that make excuses for Donald Trump and distract to Hunter and Joe Biden. And the thing about Joe Biden that a lot of people don't like to mention or just don't is that he was representing they ascribed power to him that he didn't have. All he was doing was representing the official position of the Obama administration, the EU, even the IMF. They threatened to withhold $40 billion from Ukraine, not $1 billion, $40 billion.
Doug, let me ask you another question.
It was a collective Western position that this Shokin was corrupt and was not investigating corruption and had to go. All
Doug,
Biden did was deliver the Obama position.
Doug, let me ask you another question because I'm getting into a debate here with my co-host, and maybe I'm not explaining it clearly enough, and maybe you can help me out with this. Okay, JD seems to think there is a huge difference between what Hunter Biden did and what the Trump kids currently are doing. I'm saying they're very similar in this way. They're both using the power of their father to make money. Whether you own a business or not, isn't it the same thing?
It's exactly the same thing. I mean, different circumstances, but the bottom line is the same thing.
No, it's capitalism.
And if I may, one other myth I'd like to put to bed is that Donald Trump can't be bought because he's not taking a salary. His salary would be $400,000. He made $500,000 in 1 week from the Saudis staying at one of his hotels in New York. And the catcher is they didn't even stay there. They rented the rooms and paid for them, and then they stayed across the street because that hotel had bigger rooms.
JD, respond to that.
Respond to Donald Trump having properties internationally?
Yeah, go ahead.
Good for him. What's wrong with that? And Saudis are known to spend exceptional amounts of money. They spend crazy money in Vegas all the time.
But
That's not a
Nobody in
unique
Vegas-
situation.
JD, nobody in Vegas is the president. When they spend $500,000 at one of Donald Trump's properties, guess what that equates to?
Capitalism.
Compromise.
I would call that capitalism. But that's my
fine
opinion.
if you're a capitalist, but not if you're a president. If you're a president and people from foreign countries are spending $500,000 to not stay in one of your hotels, it's for another reason.
Okay, so who is setting those prices for those rooms? Who is running those hotels? Do you know?
Donald Trump.
I doubt that.
Well,
What do you mean it was a Trump hotel?
I understand that, but his family is running those hotels.
So, yeah, and your point is?
So that's not Donald Trump. Those are his
so you
kids.
don't think any of that money goes into Donald Trump's
I have
account?
absolutely no idea where that money goes. It doesn't make a
come on,
difference.
JD, where do you think it
No,
goes?
it doesn't.
Charity?
I have absolutely no idea where the money goes.
Well, then see, you're
And,
not making a
and
point.
neither do you.
Yes, it's a Trump hotel. Donald Trump gets
Okay,
the
yeah,
money.
exactly.
Period.
So he built an international brand before he was president of the United States, and now people are staying at those hotels because he is Donald Trump, because now he is president of the United States. How is that an issue? That is capitalism. Just like his kids. Again, Hunter Biden, if his dad wasn't Joe Biden, he wouldn't have gotten a sniff at that Ukrainian job that he probably did not deserve. That's nepotism.
Well, that's probably true,
You're
but
trying.
so what?
You're trying to argue nepotism against capitalism. The Trump
No,
family.
I'm trying to argue.
You could say that the Trump family has made money off of his grandpa, off of his dad, off of whoever, not just Donald Trump. The Trump family brand has been around for 100 years. It's a totally different circumstance. So if they're making money off because now their name is even bigger than it's ever been, that is capitalism.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think the Saudis spent $500,000 to stay in a Trump hotel and then didn't even stay there? They stayed across the street.
You just said they had bigger rooms. You answered already.
So why wouldn't they just rent the rooms across the street and not blow $500 million on Trump?
Maybe they put.
come on.
Maybe they put their prostitutes in the other rooms. I have absolutely no idea. Those Saudis spend a ton of money on. No, I don't. Neither do you.
Say it.
What am I supposed to say here? That the 500 grand.
To be honest and say they were buying influence.
You're saying the 500 grand was in kind for some other favor? Is that what you're trying to say?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
You don't spend $500 million to stay in a hotel and then not stay there unless there's an underlying reason.
500,000 or 500 million?
What's that?
500,000 or 500 million?
500,000. I'm sorry.
Okay.
all right,
Well,
Doug.
I said earlier, his salary is $400,000.
Doug,
Right. No, his salary is inconsequential. I agree. It doesn't make a difference. It is a drop in the bucket in the grand scheme of things. And it's not that big of a deal that he's given it up. Now, to the average person, it's a lot of money, but to Donald Trump, it isn't anything. To Ocasio-Cortez, that would be a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be a lot of money to a lot of people.
Exactly.
But again, the underlying point is it doesn't matter what Hunter Biden did. It's noise to distract from the fact that Donald Trump asked a foreign country to interfere in our election to help him get elected. That's the bottom line. That's the story, and that's what everybody's distracted from.
Doug, Doug, you know I'm on your side on this one, and I agree with you. And I also appreciate.
Thanks for the call, Doug.
I appreciate what you do here at KDON. You do a great show on the weekends, and always good to hear from both sides. And listen, obviously Doug is on my side on this one. But we appreciate the call, Doug. 257-5396 is the number to call. You know what? Why don't we go to Chris next? I want to go to Chris. Chris, thanks for calling in to the Vegas Take, man. What's on your mind?
What's up?
Hey, I just got a question. Was why you would want to insult the president of the United States by calling him a loser when he's obviously a pretty smart guy. He's a billionaire.
Hold on.
And he's definitely a winner.
Before you start yapping.
Okay, well that was JD. He didn't let me answer. You're asking me the question, right?
What's your excuse?
Okay, well let me be clear.
What
Well,
you're talking about.
would you like me to answer your question, or would you like to keep going?
No, I want to listen to
Okay,
your
well,
crap.
thank you. That's very nice of you. First of all, I didn't call him a loser. Let me be clear. He's a scumbag. Here's why I call him a scumbag. I didn't call him
a loser?
No.
I just heard you on the damn
No.
radio. You said he's a
No,
loser.
no, I didn't. I never said that on the radio.
you
No,
did.
I didn't.
Listen back to
Okay,
the transcript,
okay. Well,
bro.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
just
what I
a
think he
radio
is.
talk
All
show
right,
host
pot him
and
down, because he doesn't want to listen. But I'll answer it anyway. Here's why I think the president of the United States is a scumbag. Okay, first of all, any man who cheats on his wife right after his wife has a child is a scumbag. Any man who has been how many lawsuits has he been involved in? Huh? How many thousands of lawsuits has he been involved in? Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, how many times has this man lied? Number 4, how about a coward saying that he has bone spurs, not serving because of that reason? That is a blatant coward. That's number 4. Number 5, how about going after a hero, a war hero in John McCain, saying he doesn't respect John McCain because John McCain is captured. Now, I just named you 4 or 5 reasons why I think Donald Trump is a scumbag. Now, if you want to equate that to loser, that's fine too. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem calling him that. But I think he's a scumbag, and I think he's a horrible person. You have 20 seconds to respond, Chris. I'm giving you 20 seconds to respond. Go. Exactly. Chris, you're a loser. By the way, the number to call, 257-5396 is the number to call, 702-257-5396. I am up against a hard break, but when we come back, we will take more of your phone calls. Bob, Bobby, Joel, we have a few phone lines open, 702-257-5396. We do have to get to LeBron James. We'll get to that next segment as well, and we will take to your phone calls. Take a quick break. You are listening to The Vegas Take.